Hey everybody, this is week 5, our final class in the live Your Path to Wealth series, and I'm really excited this particular class to teach you 3 keys to establish good money habits. Money! And I brought all the bills today. So we've got 100, 50, 20, 10, 5, 2, and a 1. How exciting that I get to present with money to teach you these 3 keys. So before I get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Alana Heim, and I am a certified public accountant. I'm also a personal financial specialist, a certified financial planner, and a certified human design specialist. And I am committed to working with people who struggle with money. And my goal, my mission, is to ultimately help everybody to achieve financial sustainability, because I am committed to that. I am committed to you having that. And this series has been a journey. I've called it Your Path to Wealth because we've kind of gone along the path. So in week 1, it was all about getting clear on what you want. The second week was about understanding the energies of you and money. Week 3, creating a wealthy mindset. Week 4, determining your money beliefs. And so if you were able to join me live for all of these, I thank you. It's been a really fun experience and journey to be teaching in this way. If you have not been able to join me live, please go back and watch the replays. There's a lot of really good information that I want you to have. You can find those on my Facebook page or on YouTube. So that's youtube.com/prosperityalignment. So this video will also be posted so that you can rewatch in case you weren't able to join me live today. This week in week 5, I'm going to jump into establishing three keys to establish good money habits. And this video is really for you if you're ready to form long-term habits that can stick with you, because you are committed to you and achieving the financial goals that you've created. So let's jump in. You ready? Key number 1, create a sustainable money plan. What is that? That's my term. And it really is a robust budget that encompasses planning monthly, planning annually, tracking your net worth, and even learning to allocate. And we're going to jump into that in a little bit. So I understand that for most people, the term budget feels a lot like dieting. And it feels very constrictive, like, oh, I can't do anything. And so I've created more of this expansive way of thinking, having this sustainable money plan that can help you feel really good. The incoming expenses is always the piece that you'll hear planners talk about that is really important. And so really for you to create this plan, I need you to know what is your income, what's your inflow, and roughly what is your outflow. Outflow includes fixed expenses like your housing, your rent, mortgage. It also includes maybe you have a car payment, or there's a certain amount that you pay for insurance or for other housing expenses like property taxes, sewer, electricity can be a little variable. So variable is really those expenses that are adjustable or that fluctuate every month. That is groceries, gasoline. Sometimes you spend a little bit more than you're planning or expecting. It might even just be your fun, like the experiences that you have during the month, travel, social. And it's really hard to manage or know exactly what you're going to spend. So when you start out, I want you to get this big, broad picture of what it is that's coming in. Sometimes that's fixed for you, sometimes it's variable. Do the same with your expenses. Really just kind of get a feel, put together some rough numbers. If you are able, go back to your bank statements, look at the past couple months. See where your money went. Sometimes if you don't do this, you will actually be really surprised at how much money you had and that it all went away. You may find that after going through this process, and for this example I'm going to give you, you're going to realize, wow, I have an extra $200 a month. I want at this point for you to create a line item, and it just might be savings, knowing that this is extra. I have $200 a month extra. What do I want to do with it? So we're going to just go ahead and say 200. I want you to know that there are many different tools that you can use to create a budget or this sustainable money plan. I love to use spreadsheets because I'm kind of a number crunching type of person. They're fun to me. But I know that some people prefer programs. So whether you actually want to use QuickBooks is a little bit more than maybe you need for personal money management. Quicken is one that a lot of people will use. There are applications that you can also get that can be on your phone. So I love mint.com. I use both a spreadsheet and mint.com because Mint allows me to see my current money flow. So I can see where all my accounts are, what the balances are. I can really have that connection with my money. I can see what's cleared, without having to log into my bank account or into the many accounts I may have. Mint is great for all of that. The spreadsheet for me is really tracking the inflow and outflow of my expenses that I absolutely know have to be paid that month. Those are variable from month to month. Like coming up in September, we have my husband's DMV registration due. That's a one-time expense that happens annually. So that's something that I have more in my annual budget, knowing when it is. And when I create for me my monthly expenses, my monthly budget within the sustainable money plan, I can roll it over year to year. So if there's that one-time expense in September, it's already there the next year, and I can plan for it. So there are times that we have bills that are monthly, sometimes bills are quarterly, and sometimes they're just once a year. Sometimes they're a surprise that you weren't expecting, and maybe they do become annual. So I want you to just be really mindful of tracking all of that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The net worth piece is something that I know people just don't think about. And what is net worth? This is ultimately tracking your income, tracking your assets and then tracking your liabilities. Because you want to know kind of what's your equity, what's your worth. And that's something to see as you are growing your money, that you're growing your worth. And you get to watch it get bigger. And yes, you'll see your debt getting smaller, but ultimately to know your net worth is really exciting because you can see that your money is growing. I do want to say that your net worth has nothing to do with your worth of who you are. But it's just something that can be fun to tie in with your money so that you can be feeling good. But it is absolutely not tied to you as your person. You are not worth what your bank account is. So for this sustainable money plan, you may be tracking just one account, like just your checking account. If you have multiple accounts, you could kind of separate how some of those monies flow. If you have a checking account and then maybe your partner has an account and managing expenses separately, you might want to each have one because you know what's coming in and out of your account versus what's coming in and out of his. Does that make sense? And if at any point you just feel totally lost and overwhelmed and kind of confused because I'm sharing all of this information verbally and you might be more of a visual type person, then I'm happy to jump on a call with you and we can talk about this so that you can become clear on your path to wealth, how to get there. So I'm going to move on to key number 2, which is allocate to accumulate. When we were talking in key number 1, I mentioned that let's just say you have this line item where you have $200 extra. Almost. So it's like you have this extra money in that budget. What do you want to do with that? Because what happens is when we don't actually allocate that money, and there's a part of you that's like, yeah, I could put that in savings, then it doesn't happen. Then the money's gone because you went out for lunch or for dinner and had an extra expense hit, whatever it might be. But I want you to start thinking back to week 1 when you were here to get clear on what you want. So I want you to align that vision, those goals, with your money. So in the example of having $200 extra, I want you to think about what you want. And for this example, I'm going to say that you want to go on a trip to Italy. You want to pay off your computer, you want to pay off your credit card, and you want to buy a computer. 3 things, which immediately our brain will go, oh, but the computer's $1,000, and my credit card is at $2,000, and a trip to Italy is at least like $3,000. So part of us already feels the heaviness. That it's just impossible. But when you can start to allocate in a way that's going to feel good because you have goals and you're going to put your money, here's maybe you want $100 to go to the computer because you really need that pretty soon. And maybe there's already money that was part of your budget going to debt, but this $50 could go to an extra payment to help pay that off faster. And then maybe the remainder is ultimately going to go towards that trip to Italy. How would that sound? How would that feel? It should feel a little more possible and even a little less heavy on you. So in your sustainable money plan, where it said savings, you may now create 2 additional line items, change savings to computer, and create the other 2 to say extra credit card payment, and the third one to say Italy. I like to tell my clients to actually create separate accounts. Sometimes that's already too overwhelming. So whether you want to be tracking on paper or on a spreadsheet what you're allocating to that computer and to the Italy trip, you can do that. Or maybe you already have a savings account and you never really had a specific purpose for that account. Perhaps it now is for the Italy trip or the computer or both. It depends on what feels good to you. Because ultimately, you are here to achieve your vision and to see that it's possible. And the really cool part is, you know that if the computer costs $1,000 and you really are putting $100 a month, that it's only going to take you 10 months to get there. What if you get a birthday gift? What if you get extra money? That extra money can go into this pot. Or maybe 1 month you actually put $200 towards your computer. And so instead of it taking 10 months, maybe it happens in like 6. Once you have the computer, you get to save for something else. You get to create a whole new vision. And that could be just allocating the money right in to the Italy trip. It might be creating a whole new goal. And that's the power and fun in managing your money and having it be sustainable, that it's always there for you. It's always working for you. Credit card. You know it's $2,000. If you're paying $50 a month, it might feel like eternity to pay it off. But if you get the computer and now you have an extra $100 and you do want all of that to go to your credit card because you know that your credit card payment is $300 a month, then once it's paid off, you're going to have the $300 extra in addition to the $200 that you already had. And what are you going to do with that? This is a great tip for you to use going forward indefinitely. Every time you receive extra money that was unallocated or unplanned for, you can put it to one of your specific goals. And that could be anything. And as you get pay raises in your job, a lot of the time we just think, woohoo, we have extra money, and then it's gone. But if you can form this habit where you actually get the extra and you are allocating it to serve you, it is going to feel really good. And that net worth that you're tracking, you will see continue to go up. Because once you've paid off your credit cards, you're going to see that I now know how to fully finance buying a computer and financing a trip to Italy through the cash that I am putting aside for it. That you're ultimately saving for the rainy day, saving for that totally possible dream that you have. Awesome, right? This is why it's fun to have all this money and teach you guys this stuff. All right, moving on to key number 3, pay yourself first. So I already told you about the sustainable money plan, and then you find out you've got this extra, and then we went in and we allocated that extra $200 to buy the computer, to pay off the credit card, and to go on that Italy trip because you are worth it and you deserve it. Now I want you to pay yourself first. Treat your extra money as a bill to you and your commitment. You are here to achieve those dreams. And even though it may not be an electric bill where you have to actually write a check or transfer the money, you can do that for yourself. So that line item for a computer, the line item for paying down your credit card, the line item for going to Italy, pay it first. Now, I know we all receive our money differently. Some of us get paid once a month, some get paid weekly, some get paid twice a month, or some other variation. When you can build the habit of receiving your money and sending it to that separate account or pulling it in cash and putting it in a jar, however you want to accumulate the money to buy that computer, do it first. So if you know you have the extra $200 in a month and you get paid once a month, take that $200 immediately, put it where it needs to go. Treat it like a bill to you. Commit to yourself and make it happen. If you wait till the end, then things will show up and, I really wanted to put the $200 into those 3 accounts or to, pay off my credit cards, but I ended up going out to eat a couple times and I bought some more coffee. Life happens. I get it. But when you can prioritize yourself and your dreams, you're ultimately valuing you and what you're here to enjoy and have. So just create that habit of setting it aside. It's important to you. And you already know how good it will feel to have that computer knowing that you fully purchased it with cash. I want you to get that computer, and I want you to feel good about saving for it. That was a lot of information. So let me recap. 3 keys to establish good money habits. Key number 1, create a sustainable money plan. That may be intimidating at first, but ultimately it is going to set you up for financial success in the long run. And that's what I want you to have, because I want everyone to have that financial sustainability. Key number 2, allocate to accumulate. Divvy up the money. Even if it's $10 a month. If you're like, I only have $10 a month or $5 a month, it is still a habit that you can create, and you can set it aside for something you really want, however small or however big it is. Key number 3, pay yourself first. Take that $5, put it into an account, put it into a jar, put it into an envelope. Put it aside for you and your dreams, because that's what you're here to achieve. You are here to be financially sustainable. And these 3 keys will hopefully get you to a place where it is just unconsciously your new habits. That this is how you are strengthening your money management skills and muscles to have more, to feel good, knowing you can have it all, because you really can. So before I leave, I want to thank you all for joining me in this Your Path to Wealth series. And again, the replays are out there on YouTube. They're also on Facebook. I hope you have enjoyed the information that I have shared. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I am more than happy to have a conversation with you to see where you might be stuck and struggling with your money, so that I can bring more of the peace of mind and ease that you're really seeking. My last exciting bit of information I am sharing with you is that I'm doing a free live webinar next Friday, same time, 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And my webinar is called 3 Keys to a Powerful Relationship with Money. This is a live call on Zoom. It's a rare opportunity to be on the call with me, to be able to ask me the financial questions that you have. I'm going to teach you the 3 keys to a powerful relationship with money. I'll also kind of reiterate some of the keys that have been taught here in this Facebook training. And then there's going to be a large portion of time devoted to answering your questions, because I really want you all to achieve financial sustainability. So, to register for this webinar, go to www.prosperity alignment.com/webinar2017. So that's webinar 2017. I will post the link. You do need to register to be able to get that Zoom link. And I truly hope that you will be there to join the call with me, so that I can meet you and get to assist you in whatever way that I can. Thank you again for being a part of this Your Path to Wealth series. I look forward to seeing you next Friday, August 25th at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you.